Welcome back to the Travel Coach Network podcast. It is I, Sahara Rostafur, the founder of the Travel Coach Network and the creator and instructor of the Travel Coach Certification Program. Travel coaching, what is it? There's an episode that I recorded earlier in our launch of our podcast of what is travel coaching, but today's session, I want to dive a little bit deeper into that. I want you to think of travel as a form of therapy. See, we as humans, we've always turned to travel for deeper and more personal reasons, whether that's for healing, self-discovery, a sense of fulfillment, to be inspired, for coping, feeling something new, or finding our purpose and happiness in life. I know that's one of the reasons why I started traveling at a younger age, or when I was 22 and I just graduated university. I had always struggled with anxiety in my life. And in my later years of college, I was struggling with depression. And I didn't know what happiness looked like to me at 22. I was like, here I am. I finished school. What am I going to make with my life? I have society and family saying, get a corporate job and climb the corporate ladder and get a good title and get a good salary. But I knew that wasn't going to satisfy me. And I know travel was going to bring me the answers that it did. No, but I knew that there was a whole big old world out there that would help me kind of find my path. And sure enough, fast forward, travel became my greatest professor. But I want you to think about a time when you find yourself up late at night, scrolling on Instagram, looking at photos of travelers in stunning destinations. What about the time that you found yourself just randomly searching for flight prices? Think about where your mind truly was at when you booked your last trip, or a trip that truly made an impact on you. How are you feeling before going on that trip? What was going on in your life, in your mind, your relationships, your work life? What would you contribute to the motivation for you wanting to go on that trip? I know for me, when I was still in university and I was hustling my butt off to make money to be able to save money so I could, when I graduated, was able to travel. I lived in a very expensive city of Chicago, and I was very grateful to be working in some lucrative restaurants at the time. But if anyone worked in the restaurant industry, you know the mental health toll that could take on you. But I would find myself during those shifts when I would feel very anxious and overwhelmed and exhausted and basically just unhappy. I'd find myself in the corner, hiding from someone and from everyone else. And I'd be writing down a list of countries that I wanted to go to. And it was just like a natural instinct for me in my mind to say, where do I want to get away to? Where do I want to go explore? And that was where I was finding my comfort, my happy place. So it's an example of how travel itself can really be extremely impactful and a tool for us in times of need. And that's what I want you to think about when you travel. What was going on in your mind, in your life, the times that you went on trips? I understand that not every trip has an ultimate deeper purpose for it. Sometimes you travel for a celebration, whether it's someone's birthday, a wedding, I am a bachelorette party. Maybe it's for business. So you have a meeting or a conference in store. But all those other times, even when you travel with your family, think about, why are you feeling this need to get away? Why are you feeling this need to be in a new environment, either by yourself or with your loved ones? There's a lot of value and power in all of that. Travel is a powerful vessel for transformation, change, healing, new feelings, and results. But oftentimes we travel in a way that causes us to miss opportunities for all of those potential outcomes. And that's what travel coaching is all about. Travel shouldn't be about taking complete control over someone else's itinerary and planning of their trip. There's actually a lot of research out there that talks about how and this is something I mentioned in my TED talk, of a study that found that the highest spike of happiness actually takes place during the planning phase of a trip. And there's also studies that talked about how planning being involved in planning can extend the happiness of the trip, just being able to be involved in that process. Travel shouldn't be about sheltering yourself from the local community and culture and environment. I know all-inclusive resorts, cruises, those are very, very popular. But I know for me, when I've been to one all-inclusive, no, I've been to two, but the first one was when I was in my teens, and it was the first time I've been out of the country. It was with my mom and my best friend at the time and my mom's husband at the time. And we'd gone to Punta Cana in Dominican Republic, and it was we just stayed in the resort. We did nothing outside of it other than just getting to and from. And I remember being like, at the time it was totally fine. That was my first vacation at 15, 16 years old. But later on, as I think about it, I'm like, I was so sheltered. I didn't have any cultural experience other than, the shows that they put in, but that's all in, an act for entertainment. The food wasn't local. The environment was very staged, So even though there's always a time and place to go to on cruises and resorts, I've been on plenty of cruises. I love cruises from time to time, but the fact of sheltering yourself from the culture, the people, the place itself does a huge disservice when you're traveling. And traveling also doesn't mean a self-centered mindset about how you travel, where you go, and what you do. It's not about you all the time. It's also about the impact that you're making on the community. It's the impact that you're making on the place. Instead, traveling is about opening up your mind to the possibilities of internal change while leaving an external positive impact on the people that you meet, the places that you visit, and the nature that you immerse yourself in. These are all common reasons that I hear when I ask people in my travel coach network when they join, why do you travel on a more personal level? And oftentimes they struggle to get to a personal level, and they'll say things like to meet new people, to explore new places, to sightsee, and those are all great. Those are all answers, but those are very surface level. I always challenge everyone to think deeper and more personal of why you actually travel. But these are common answers across the board. And we hear things like immersive experiences, cultural immersion, immersing yourself in a destination, in a location, into nature. And it should be about opening your mind to all the potential that travel can bring to you of change and transformation and inspiration. And if we just let down our barriers and our expectations and just enjoy and soak up what the world has to offer, and isn't about absorbing the place yourself when it comes to the resources and about only your experience, but it's also about how does your experience impact those who live there, of the land there, of the plant, of the nature that's there, the animals, the environment, the beach as well. Travel coaches have one goal in mind, and that's to help people transform through travel. No matter the niche of what the travel coach focuses in, because there's such a wide variety, or the type of travelers that they choose to work with, because again, there are so many different ideal clients for travel coaches, or even the areas of focus. Their end goal is to help people use travel as that powerful tool that can help them reach their own goals in life, even if the traveler is not aware of what those goals may be yet. That's why, going back to the beginning of this episode, I said, think about travel as a form of therapy. In therapy, we don't have the answers. That's why we go to therapy, right? Whether you're working with a wellness coach, a life coach, even a business coach, we don't have the answers. It's within us. A coach is someone who asks specific questions, deep questions that are going to pull the answers and bring awareness to the traveler, the client, so that they can make better decisions for themselves. So therefore, in the terms of travel, better decisions on where to go, what to do, what kind of experience to have, who to go with. Maybe you need to go on a solo trip this time, how long you need to travel for, kind of, plan to put in place for yourself when it comes to your budget, your time frame, and more. We don't often have awareness of why we want to travel or what exactly we need to get from a trip. But that's where the travel coaches come in. I always say not everyone's an avid traveler. Not everyone understands just how transformative travel can be. But if you're listening to this podcast, this episode, I'm pretty sure you probably get it. And that's why that empowerment, that inspirational side of travel coaching is so prevalent. It's empowering people to understand, if you travel with intention and you travel with a purpose, whether that's personal, professional, whether that's leaving an impact or a combination of all of that, then you can have the transformative experience that you truly are looking for. That change in your life, that feeling that you're yearning for, that feeling that is keeping you up scrolling through Instagram, that is keeping you up late searching flight prices to destinations. I know that I've done that and never actually booked the trip. It was just that feeling of searching of where could I go in my mind, where can I go to? And there's a reason for that. So travel coaching is pulling that out. It's about flipping the script on the travel industry in general of why we travel and how we travel and what travel does for us. It's there. It's been there all along. And it's now travel coaching is about actually you bringing that to the surface and realizing the value that travel has in our life. And travel coaches are those vessels to help people achieve that. While travel coaches focus in a wide range of niches, like I mentioned, whether that's in wellness, helping people who struggled with trauma, professional life, mindset, self-discovery, or something else, because trust me, in the Travel Coach Network, people focus on so many different topics. This speaks to the fact that travel has the potential to help us find answers to our unknown questions, to heal, to feel, and to deal with our personal lives and our work life, because it is what we turn to. Travel coaches can focus on so many different things because everyone has a different area of expertise. Everyone has a different background. Everyone has a personal background that's different. Everyone has experiences that are different. Everyone has beliefs that are different, perspectives that are different, passions that are different. And therefore, just like any type of life coach or other, business coach or anyone else who focuses on something so specific, the same thing with travel coaching. Travel is a diverse industry and travelers are diverse people. So travel coaching is a diverse world too. The Travel Coach Network has expanded to a global community of travel coaches, many who get certified in our Travel Coach certification program and who are changing the game in how and why people travel. And I always like to end my episodes when I can with a fun fact, whether it's with my guests. I always ask them a fun fact about themselves. It doesn't have to be business or travel related. But when I do these solo episodes, I like to try to include something of myself. It's not easy to think of so many fun facts about yourself. So some might not be so fun, I guess, or facts. But today I'm just going to talk about how I'm from Wisconsin, and if you know Wisconsin or don't know Wisconsin, we love to drink beer, or I should say Wisconsinites like to drink beer and eat a lot of cheese, and cheese curds are a big thing. And it's also can be very cold, obviously, in the wintertime. I don't like really any of those things. I was born here, I was raised here, I live here again now, but I'm not a beer drinker at all. And I like cheese from time to time if it's on a pizza or something, but I don't like cheese curds. And I'm not a cold weather girl. That's why I would always escape to Southeast Asia or South America or somewhere warmer during the winter season usually. But that's my fun fact for this episode. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at the Travel Coach Network. Learn more at thetravelcoachnetwork.com and come give us a hello. We look forward to having you in our Facebook Travel Coach Network global community and hopefully having you as a guest on our podcast. If you want to find out more about joining our free TCN community on Facebook, the link for that is in the show notes for every episode, as well as your own free beginner's guide to travel coaching. That's in the show notes, the link. You can grab that there. And if you know anyone who may be interested in travel coaching, please be sure to send them our way to our podcast. We truly appreciate it. And until next time, my fellow wanderers, bye for now.